Hey, We Lead Worship, Jason here, and today we want to talk about the topic of dealing with compliments. And I know for some of you it's a touchy subject and it's one that we don't often talk about, but I know a lot of you ask the question about it. It's one that I used to deal with a lot of times. In fact, it's one that used to keep me hiding backstage after services. Ouch, that's one that we don't like to talk about either. Actually, it was a big issue for me. I was at a church one time, it was around 10,000 people, and I thought I could hide away kind of backstage and not go out front after our services were over, because one of the things that I hated hearing was this. I really did. I hated hearing it. I'd get done and I'd go out front and I'd always hear this, "Oh, Jason, man, worship was great today. Jason, man, I loved hearing that song. Jason, this was great," or "This was awesome." I just really kind of felt dirty. I felt dirty because of this. It felt like every time someone was saying that, I felt like I needed to instantly get overly religious or overly, how do I say it? I felt like I needed to be in defense of God right then in that moment and go, "No, don't you take any of this onto me. It's all God's." In fact, sometimes I would honestly say it like that. I would look to somebody and not as mean as that, but I would almost look to them and say, "Oh, give God the glory." I'd point straight up and say, "Give God the glory." Maybe not as snappy as that, but I would look at him and say, God gets the glory in that, or I'd just point straight up in the air. It's almost kind of comical. The feeling that I still have today is the same way. I still feel like that God should get the glory. But here's something that kind of changed the way that I respond to people over the years. I heard a story about how Corrie Ten Boom, who, if you don't know about her life, her legacy, look her up. She's got a truly, truly amazing story. But she was a woman who really captivated people as she talked. She died in the early 80s, but was born in the late 1800s. But she had an amazing speaking ability, captivated audiences. And she went around, and as she spoke, one day someone had asked her, "How do you handle it whenever people give you accolades?" And she said, "Here's what I do. When someone tells me what a great job I've done in speaking or something, I take it and I receive that. I receive it almost as if it's a flower being given to me. And I get to see it, look at it, hold it, and see its beauty, because it's beauty that God's given me, and that thanks and that gratitude. And I get to take it. Maybe I go back to my hotel room or wherever I'm at, or my house, and I get to sit there and look at it and admire its beauty for a period of time. And then at the end of the day, I'll take all of those flowers that I've collectively gotten and I'll extend them up to God in a bouquet of praise and thanks to Him." That really transformed the way that I look at the praise and the thanks that we get sometimes as worship leaders and as people in leadership. So whenever we get those types of thanks and accolades, just give them up as a bouquet of praise to God. So next time someone gives you thanks, take that thanks as a flower and then give it back to God as a bouquet of praise. Have a great day. Remember, you are loved and you are in leadership because God has called you to be there.